Welcome to Creative Practice Healing Practice for Wednesday, March 25th. Our text for today is again from Gerald May, The Wisdom of the Wilderness. So let's listen to what he has to say to us today. I will be only reading this through once. It is a long passage, but I just didn't find any way to shorten it for us. So let's just get right to that. I am sitting on the deck of a small cabin, and I am well into the silence, absorbed by the majesty of the mesas to the east and west, my awareness swallowed into limitless vistas of desert where the canyon opens in the south. As I so often do when it is totally unnecessary, I am trying to meditate. Why, when everything around me is perfect and I am immersed in the moment, do I still think I must do something to be contemplative? It is always only by a gift that I am allowed to just be. Left to my own devices, I will always be trying to do something, even if what I am trying to do is nothing. Nothing is what I am trying to do as the morning sunlight flows down the side of the western mesa. I sit cross-legged on a Navajo rug, back straight, breathing in the high desert air that is like wakefulness itself. My eyes are open slightly, seeing but not really looking at the endless desert. A soft, silent prayer arises. I am yours. There is stillness all around, but I know I'm trying too hard, working at something, holding something somewhere. I try to relax everything, surrender myself completely, but that too is trying. Then I hear the eagle's call. I do not know it as an eagle yet, but it is a cry that pierces me once, twice, a third time, going directly into my heart, into the very center of my longing. It is as if that center of me had suddenly shrieked out of itself, crying into the empty mountain, echoing back and forth between the high mesa walls. My head turns to the sound, and there I see two slowly moving forms above the mesa, black against the utterly clean blue sky, high above the great red-white rocks and wind-blown pinyon trees. The cry comes again, through the air to me, more into my heart than my ears. I reach for my binoculars and focus on one of the birds. It's brown, not black. A burnished russet soaring, and the cry comes once more, and it is more wild, more empty than anything I have ever known. The cry seems to be utterly without emotion, yet somehow made of pure yearning. How can something so free of feeling be so totally passionate? It is a cry of the absolute, a stark scream of truth, completely and purely wild in the height, in the flight, in the all-consuming sky. I follow the bird's movement through the binoculars. It handles the thin air, the mountain breeze flawlessly. There is neither mastery nor defeat, just the simple, piercing perfection of utterly straight wings and clean air and the sharp cry of being alive. I want so desperately to cry that way myself, to shriek out my own truth into the endless emptiness, to shout out my longing, my nameless passion in the same simple, totally complete way. I want my soul sound to fly out against the mesa walls like that bird's cry, but it is unutterable for me, caught within the walls of my chest, inexpressible. Something distinctly human in me, something civilized, keeps my cry inside. And then the eagle cries again, and I think in the manner of thinking that it is without thoughts really forming that the great bird is crying for me. Not crying in sympathy with me or compassion for me, but crying in my stead because I cannot. In this moment, the eagle's call is an intercession for me, a standing in my place, an expression of my simple aliveness made possible in a freedom that I do not possess in eagle freedom. I know why this is a holy bird, a sacred creature, for I suddenly feel an earth-deep need for this eagle to cry out my song, to sing my utmost prayer in the heights of emptiness. My prayer then becomes suddenly real, very intimate, very direct, and it is a prayer of gratitude for the eagle who sings my prayer. Wow. The Wisdom of the Wilderness by Gerald May. So, what word calls to you from his sacred writing? What phrase, what is your text that you find in what you have just heard? Let's think about that and jot it down if that has been your practice, and let us take that into our silence. Because, he started out his passage talking about the fact that he was already in silence and already meditating, even though he was still trying to. So let's join Gerald May in his silence, shall we? So I hope you have recorded your prayer word and your text for today. My word is compound, it's soul cry. I don't know if that was exactly said in our reading or if that's my impression of what was in our reading, but it's what I heard. So that's what I'm going to take into our creative time. So again, we're at that point where you pause the video because as it is live, I can't pause it. So I'll just stop talking for a while and you do your creative piece and then just unpause it and we'll continue and I'll be here. So see you in a bit. Okay, so I have, as sometimes is the case, and I just offer this as way of inspiration. You don't have as much time as I have had with this, I understand that. So I want to just let you know the different ways that you can go about this task, and so I'm when I have two different things that I did, I offer you both of them. So the first thing is I identified with Gerald May's eagle, and although he didn't say it was what kind of eagle it was, I went for a bald eagle. So with my watercolor pens, there just simply is my bald eagle. And I don't know if you could see it. The thing is with the camera, because it's focused far away for the meditation time, then it's hard for it to pick up something close by. So I can hold it as far out as my arm can reach. And so there's my watercolor, the back of a bald eagle. But I also have a haiku. And it comes from a place of the stirring, the same kind of stirring, I think, that Gerald May experienced. And this is what I wrote. How is it you knew my deepest private soul prayers, snowy-headed friend? How is it you knew my deepest private soul prayers, snowy-headed friend? So those are my creative responses to our reading for today on this middle of the week day, on this Wednesday. And actualizing this, what will I give or offer, or what will I refrain or fast from? And I actually wrote down refrain or fast today. And what I want to refrain or fast from is trying too hard. I think we heard it from May. We don't always have to try so hard. We could sit on our lanai or our deck or in a park in some sunshine and listen for the cry of a bird and say thank you for that prayer. We try so hard. We try so hard. And I think God is more gracious with us than we are with ourselves. And I really believe that the cry of the eagle can be a cry of my prayer. Not for me, not about me, not pitying me, but can just be mine. So I hope you found some depth in this reading from Gerald May today, and that you can actualize it in a way that gives meaning to you. In case anyone wonders, the piece that you're looking at, if you would go back to the beginning and look at it now, it would have been different. That is a reflection off of the stained glass window in the meditation chapel, and the sun is, it's at least at this half of the building. It's not quite setting yet, but it's on this half of the building. So that reflection is changing pretty quick. And so I thought, I'm going to catch it while it's here. So I hope you enjoy that. I sure do. But in any case, thanks for being with me. God bless you. See you tomorrow.